This morning, Governor J.B. Pritzker issued an urgent request for ICE to pause their raids so that children can go trick-or-treating for Halloween without fear of them or their parents being brutalized and snatched off the streets.
I want to now speak directly to Greg Bovino. Mr. Bovino, your operation has sown fear and division and chaos among law-abiding residents in our communities. If you are unwilling to cease operations and leave our city, can we at least agree that our children should not be victims, especially on Halloween? Can we agree that there is no imminent threat that should disrupt their holiday? No child in America should have to go trick-or-treating in fear that they might be confronted with armed federal agents and have to inhale tear gas. I honestly can't even believe that I have to make this plea. This is not the America that I know. I ask you to restore some sanity for the sake of our children. I would like to invite to the podium Representative Norma Hernandez.
I watched that press conference and I also was just... It still amazes me that this is what America is in 2025. None of this is normal. I guess it says something good about me that none of this has been normalized for me personally. And I would just encourage you to remind yourself that this is unacceptable. This is not okay. This should not be happening. It is not normal. Remind your friends and family, because what the regime wants to do is to normalize this level of brutality and oppression. And we're not going to give them that victory, are we? We will not allow this behavior to be normalized in the United States of America. So that was my first reaction to watching Governor Pritzker's press conference. My second reaction was, this is a very reasonable request. This is a very small ask of the government in public, a direct request for a ceasefire, if you will, a short pause so that children can safely trick-or-treat without fear of being tear-gassed or their parents and them being abducted. This is the compassionate, the humane, the moral take. It's also fucking brilliant political strategy. This is a genius level move from Pritzker. So here's Aaron Rupar on Blue Sky this morning, quoting Pritzker, where he says, "I sent a letter to Kristi Noem and to DHS leadership asking them to pause all of their federal agent operations for an entirety of the Halloween weekend. I'm asking for basic human decency. I think their response will be revealing. Give the children and families of Illinois a break." And of course, my response is like, y'all, this is a genius move. This is showing that politics can be strategic and humane at the same time. This is a very reasonable ask. It's a very sensible ask that he's making in public. He's not saying get ICE out of our city permanently. He's not saying defund ICE. He's saying, please press pause for the Halloween weekend so that little children can go trick-or-treating. He has now put the ball in the court of DHS, of Kristi Noem, of Bovino, to make them respond with, no, we will be tear gassing children on Halloween and tackling them and their parents to the ground. We will be zip tying little children out trick-or-treating on Halloween. Like, he has forced them into a position where they either have to justify the continuation of their actions on the Halloween weekend, or they have to concede that what they are doing is cruel and abnormal and not okay. If what they're doing is fine and legal and good for this country, then why would they need to pause operations? Right? This is really good political maneuvering. We've seen Pritzker over and over again take risks on behalf of the American people, and they have paid off. He has taken an aggressive stance, and other Democrats would do well to follow his lead. Tina Kotek, I would love to see you issue the same kind of statement for Oregon. By the way, if you also think that Governor Kotek should do that, go ahead and contact her. We see Democratic leadership over and over and over again being far too hesitant to take a strong stand on immigration, and often like talking up things that Trump is doing. They are looking at their focus groups and their poll numbers, and they're like, oh, Americans want us to be hard on immigration, so we will abandon a moral position. I'm telling you, the moral and ethical position is always a right one to take up. It will always be a winning position to stand on the side of human rights. And the hesitancy from too many establishment Democrats has been deeply frustrating. And so I really would encourage everybody, contact your elected officials, contact your reps and your senators, the governor of your state, and urge them to follow in Pritzker's footsteps here. Democrats need to stop worrying so much about what their inside the Beltway focus groups are saying and think about whether or not they want to be a party that actually upholds their values, whether or their declared values, whether or not some pollster has told them that it would get them a boost in the ratings. I mean, when we're seeing things like this on a daily basis, this is from Chicago, by the way. When this is happening on the streets of our cities, when ICE agents that are masked to obscure their identity because they hope to never face justice for the illegal things that they're doing right now, when this is happening in Aurora, Illinois, in Portland, Oregon, in Hillsboro, Oregon, everywhere, Colorado, it's happening all over the country, where masked men can fire upon cars that have children inside, where they can tackle mothers to the ground, while their children look on in horror, like this mother in Virginia this past week. When this is happening on a daily basis to American families, when this is an entire generation of children experiencing severe trauma on a daily basis, it's an entirely reasonable request to say, please stop this just for one weekend so that our children can have a somewhat normal holiday, a break from the daily terrors that they are experiencing at the hand of Donald Trump's government, at the hand of the American Gestapo, ICE. And it's also a perfectly reasonable thing for our Democratic electeds to stop pussyfooting around on what ICE is doing, to stop pussyfooting around on their position about immigration. Stop fucking looking at the polling numbers from your Inside the Beltway focus group and start looking at the human stories. My Congresswoman Maxine Dexter and also both of my senators, Ron Wyden and Jeff Merkley, have said they need more human stories because it is by tapping into people's sense of empathy and compassion. It is by humanizing the situations, because what ICE is doing is happening to real human beings. They are desperate to dehumanize the people that they are brutalizing. So the more that we can tell the stories, the more that we can insist that people bear witness to what is happening, the more that we can focus on the people and what is being done to them by highlighting instances like this. Again, especially if you go on Instagram, it's just like a nonstop stream of videos of people being brutalized all over the country, of children screaming and crying, of mothers being dragged off, of children being zip tied, of fathers being slammed to the ground, hauled off as they're crying for their babies. Democrats need to realize the compassionate and moral position is the winning position. Governor Pritzker appears to understand that. I think this, again, brilliant strategic move. More of this. Send videos like these to your elected officials and ask them why they are not being louder on this issue. Your state and local officials, ask them why they are not taking a stand as strong as Governor Pritzker to defend the people of their state, of their cities, from the terror, the abuse, the cruelty of ICE. Share these videos with your friends and family. I've got several on my Instagram and my Facebook, but seriously, log into Instagram and you will find thousands of them. I also just want to remind folks, as you continue to bear witness, please do not let this become normalized. Yes, definitely engage in some self-care because it's traumatizing to watch what's happening, but we have to continue to bear witness and we have to continue to share. And we also have to ground ourselves in the truth that this is not normal, this is not okay, this cannot be allowed to continue. Nobody deserves to live like this. This is what Donald Trump has done to the land of the free and the home of the brave. Our children deserve a safe Halloween. They deserve safety every day. No child deserves to live like this, to live through this kind of terror and trauma on a daily basis, no matter where their parents were born, no matter the color of their skin, no matter what language is spoken in their home. So I applaud Governor Pritzker for this press conference, for this ask. It's our job to amplify it now, to urge our electeds to take up the call and to figure out how to protect our kids on Halloween.